Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, let's take a look at Bitcoin, some decentralized stablecoins, and of course, the Metaverse. What video in late 2021 will be complete without some Metaverse chat? So if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out the pinned comment down below to support the channel further. So Bitcoin took a big dump on Black Friday here, that huge red candle, but we've since recovered quite well. Specifically, Sunday was a pretty good day, and we closed the week out at about 57K. And this is where we're hovering right about now. Not bad whatsoever. When we consider the whole Omicron COVID-19 variant going around right now and the kind of fearful nature that this brings about with it, especially when you see some of the headlines and the imagery being used, the use of words like very high risk of infection, just the whole narrative around this being quite negative. Well, this made me think that Bitcoin is very, very bullish right now. When we consider that this was the sell-off from the whole of this new variant, in comparison to what happened in March 2020, it's really chalk and cheese. We didn't have that much of a dip below the 54K region. It really held up as a good level of support. And I think this was a great acid test to show the strength of Bitcoin. We know what happened last time. We had March 2020, we lived through this. And after the big dump that occurred, well, everything went up to the top right-hand corner. So clearly the government responses are going to be the same again. So even if this variant is really bad, clearly people are going to be looking to make money online and using cryptocurrency as they're out here. And on top of that, this is super bullish for play-to-earn games and, of course, the Metaverse. More and more people are going to be spending time in these virtual online worlds. Then additionally, this morning we've had this positive news for Bitcoin. Invesco announced they're launching an ETP backed by Spot Bitcoin, and Wisdom Tree is launching 3 crypto basket ETPs, exchange traded products. So every institutional asset manager is eventually going to get in the game, says Anthony Pompliano. So this ETP launching out in Germany will be 100% backed by Bitcoin holdings. This means people have to hold the spot asset in this fund. So if you were to buy into this, it does ensure that Bitcoin is getting bought off the open market. Super, super bullish and really beating the Americans to the punch here. So the Invesco physical Bitcoin ETP has a fixed 0.99% annual fee. Bitcoins will be held on behalf of the Invesco ETP by Zodia Custody, a UK-based digital asset custodian, which is registered with the FCA and as a crypto asset business under UK anti-money laundering. And CoinShares, Europe's largest standing digital asset investment firm, is the index sponsor and will also serve as the execution agent for the physical Bitcoin ETP. So this is super good news. We can see the tide is turning here from futures-backed Bitcoin funds into spot ones. So pretty hard to be bearish on Bitcoin at this time. Fear and greed showing a reading of 33. We were down to 27 on Sunday. So pretty bearish, and in general, a lot of people were concerned that we're going into a bear market now. And a lot of hate was going on for Plan B with his models, which I thought was a little bit unfair. Over on his Twitter account, a lot of people suggesting that 69K was the top. So Bitcoin out the way, things not looking too bad whatsoever. Super bullish in terms of continued positive news media around Bitcoin. We know what happens if we go into lockdowns. More money printing will occur, inflation will continue, and people will flock to Bitcoin as a safe haven asset. On to some Luna news here, and of course decentralized stablecoins, both MIM and UST. So yesterday was Danielle Sester's birthday, and this from Do Kwon. He market bought $3 million worth of Spell token, and I've been accumulating Spell token as well recently if you've been keeping track here. And so very interesting to see Mr. Do Kwon also doing likewise. He says happy birthday to Danielle, goes ahead and buys $1 million worth, and then down here transaction 2 and then transaction 3. So $3 million of your mate's token is a pretty nice way to celebrate his birthday, and clearly this relationship between Danielle and Do is getting stronger and stronger by the day, which is very, very bullish. Danielle being one of the leaders in this new DeFi 2.0 era. He also having the MIM stablecoin and the pairings that's going to happen between MIM and UST. There's going to be a lot of bullish things on the horizon. They both seem very positive about the future here. So I've been DCAing into this one over on FTX. We had a nice dip to around 1 cent at the low here. So 1 cent and 0.2. So pretty damn low. We're up about 36% since then over the last 24 to 36 hours. If you want to pick some up over on FTX exchange, use the link down below. It will help me out. So spell bags have been added to here on my front and also on Do Kwon's front. Now, Nicholas Flamel, one big advocate of Luna, like and retweet if all you want for Christmas is UST pairs on Binance. And we believe that this is happening sooner rather than later. There was a bit of alpha leak a few months back when Danku actually posted this image of the URL with binance.com/UST, and there were some markets there. So I think this is now expected. And reading between some of the lines here, this is Remy from Real Vision, one of Raoul Pal's friends and colleagues here. He's a big Luna advocate as well. Staking ratio is now 40%. So 40% of all coins are now staked for Luna. Staking returns roughly 11%, very healthy. And the daily burn is roughly 1 million Luna tokens as well. A huge recipe for success here alone. But supply shock incoming, it is programmed, especially when redacted is announced. So this, I believe, will be the Binance listing of UST as a pairing. So imagine having all of the base pairs across all assets as UST. That will really help rival the likes of USDT and USDC, which are the primary ones right now. This from Harry here. In all honesty, this UST growth doesn't look organic. I just wonder where the demand is coming from. So these are the volume bars. You can see that this was the huge amount of UST increasing due to the burning of Luna for the bootstrapping that took place. But subsequent to then, we saw a nice few bits of demand here for UST, but then some real sustained efforts here over the last few days. And this again could be Binance loading up their bags of UST to add it to their exchange. So that is my hypothesis, which will be very bullish for Luna and the overall TERRA ecosystem. So a brief look across the markets here. We can see Bitcoin around 57,000. Over the last 7 days, most things are in the red. BNB's had a little bit of growth here. Generally, things are around 10% down. TERRA is up 9.6%. Crypto.com up 1%. Polygon up around 4% here. But most things pretty flat in the top 50. If we actually scroll down to this, so the battle for stablecoin supremacy, market cap of Binance's US dollar right now is 13 billion. If we just go down to DAI is at 8.7 billion. And then we have Terra's UST down here at 7.5 billion. So roughly 1.2.5 billion away from DAI's market cap. I think we see UST flip DAI at some point during December. Now, if you ever want to look for a bullish area of the market, it's best to check the down days. You can see where the money flows are going. And over this weekend, we saw a lot of the Metaverse play-to-earn games actually had a decent bit of a pullback, but nowhere near the likes of other mainstream cryptos. And we're seeing continued funds flowing into this space from big investors. So Metaverse Group buys digital land in Decentraland for a whopping $2.43 million. So it seems like essentially they're pretty much setting up Saks Fifth Avenue in Decentraland here. So amid the popularity of Metaverse, many people have become more interested in owning digital land like this virtual real estate. Apart from investing in cryptos, investors have been more immersed in exploring what is beyond digital currencies and NFTs. Clearly, if we're going to be locked down potentially again, people are going to spend even more time online. This is a real cultural shift that's been forced upon us right now. We're just used to being in the metaverse, so why not actually go to the real metaverses here and start interacting? So this Metaverse company said its acquisition of $2.43 million would help the digital fashion sector. So Sam Hilton from Decentraland here says this: the Metaverse will mark fashion as the next massive area for growth. He said that the Metaverse Group's recent move to purchase the digital land has been exciting and timely. We're seeing brands like Louis Vuitton and Gucci inching their way into this industry now. And of course, Nike as well, we covered this on the channel, is looking to expand its product range into digital clothing and sneakers as well. And this makes perfect sense. If people are going to spend more and more time online, they're going to want to show off fashionable things with their online personas. And of course, for these brands, it makes perfect sense. The cost of producing these items is going to be so much lower and the markup's enormous that why the heck would they not? So this has been embraced on all fronts right now, and we're seeing a seismic shift in sentiment towards the metaverse. So I think the pumps we're seeing are just the first steps in towards something that is just a lot bigger than any of us can fathom right now. This is a massive societal change. So Metaverse, coins by market cap here, we can see generally everything's pretty much up in the green. Some big movers here, the likes of Realm, Gridzone, Poker City. A few small losers here, Wilder World down 4%, IOI around 3.6%, and so on and so forth. But nothing major right now. And everything seemingly has recovered from that pretty much little dip we had here. So looking at Axie, it looks like it's pretty much recovered its weekend losses, pretty much back to where it was last Wednesday. So where do you look in this whole field of new expanding territory? Well, it's not difficult to pick out winners, but it is to pick your timing. It seems to me that most things are getting a nice old pump here. We can see this realm token here, not one I've done a huge deep dive on, but it looks like it's going to break out and breach its previous all-time high that was set 4 days ago. It looks like it just wants to go up here. And then if we look at the IDO price, it was trading for 3 cents. It's now above $2, and this launched, if we pull this out to max, around the start of September. So huge returns from anyone who got into the IDO, but even when it launched on the open market here, there was opportunities to get in at around 20 to 30 cents. So still like a 10x from there. So this shows to me that new projects are definitely somewhere we need to be concentrating, looking for those flattened charts and not buying the ones that have gone up like a skyscraper. That is not a good option in my opinion. So like this, let's have a little look at Merit Circle, another one that someone in Patreon shielded me on, and it looks amazing to be fair. This is a DAO/guild all in one. This one launched on Copper Launch, and I think you could have scooped it around $3. But since then, it's pretty much done a 3x, and it's only been out at around 3 weeks here. So it started to launch here at around $3 when it hit the open market. So a good opportunity to get in early, and then it seems to want to go higher and higher. And it's not going to be long until this breaks out into new uncharted territory. Hard to price these things. It's already $407 million, but we're starting to see that the big market cap coins are pushing towards $10 billion in total market cap now. So for some of these maybe mid caps to get up to 1-2 billion probably is not that far away. These guys have guilds and also NFT assets across a load of big games like Axie, Star Atlas, Illuvium, and also Hash Rush. So this is a good way to get exposure to the industry and not rely on one singular game. And this will evolve into a full DAO as well. So Merit Circle looks super cool to me, but there's loads of these things cropping up all the time. So I think I'm going to try and concentrate my time on the kind of pre-sales or early, first week, first 2 weeks of launches of some of these coins when they have the initial pump up. A bit of a retrace, some pre-sale investors will cash out at that point, but most of the charts go on a parabolic run at some point. And the reason for that, well, everyone in this sector is making a lot of money. And so if you make a load of money on something, you're going to want to recycle that into another low cap opportunity, something that hasn't run, and then that causes the next one to run up. So I think there's still plenty of opportunity in here. One I've just picked up a small bag of here is Kart Racing League, KRL on the Polygon ecosystem. 6,500 KRL gets you an NFT racing car driver, and this looks very similar to Mario Kart. So what is there not to love about Mario Kart? The fully diluted valuation here, $385 million. Not 100% sure on the circulating supply right now, but it's likely to be less than a tenth of this. So I think the market cap will be low. They're launching this karting game in about 2 to 3 weeks from here. You can stake the coin and get 30% APY. And every transaction in KRL, this is the governance token of the network, has a 0.5% burn attached to it. So that was super interesting for me. Let's have a little look at this Kart Racing League. As I say, Super Mario themed, race against others, earn their in-game asset EOC. You can compete in these seasons that last roughly 10 weeks. And what's there not to love? Imagine being paid to play Mario Kart. I think this will be super big in loads of developing nations once this goes live. And as I say, this is not out for a few more weeks here. How can you dislike that? It just looks like a load of fun. You can play Mario Kart, get paid a wage. Super, super interesting to me. So I've bought a small bag of that, may add to that at a later date, but I will have a little look at the NFTs a little bit more later this evening. Now, I would advise having yourself a nice watch list on CoinGecko for many of these games, as primarily I'm just going to be picking up ones that have had a nice pullback. The likes here of Yield Guild Games is down quite a bit, 12% over the last 7 days. Krabada is down. This was pumped massively when Elio covered this on his channel. It went up to like a 200-something million market cap. It's down to 112 million. And you can see from some of this list down here, many of these have pumped quite significantly. Citizen Finance up 88%, Gala up 81%. And these are the kind of charts you don't want to be buying because, as I say, most things seemingly are going to have this moment at some point, after this nice flat period of consolidation, you want to get in during the consolidation and not during the pump. Again, let's pull up Krabata here and pull it onto max. This one looks like it may be consolidating here, flagging out nicely before it breaks up again. This one is on the Avalanche ecosystem, so I think once Avalanche gets some more momentum behind it once again, that these Avalanche-based games could get sent once more. So there we have it, my overall thoughts on the market right now in some specific sectors. Of course, Metaverse and gaming taking up a bigger portion of my time right now, as this is where all the money is being made. And if we think about it, most altcoins aren't bullish right now. So what's going to happen when we hit high gear for the bull run at large? Well, these games are going to get sent even further. So I hope you enjoyed today's content. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out my Patreon via the link down below, and join the conversation. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.